Coach Beckett and the Cedar Bluff Tigers. Introduce yourself, and you're going into your second year, players, your graduating year and position that you play. Go ahead, Coach. Take it
All
away.
right, Alan Beckett, as you said, we got Hagan Stallings right here beside me, and he is a linebacker, inside linebacker, and offensive lineman for us, and had a big year, really physical, and he likes to play, and so we're excited. He was banged up in the spring. Beside him is Bucky Leake. If it was a TV show, it'd be Everybody Loves Bucky. He is Mr. Personality. If you saw, he was all over the place just a minute ago. He would be elected king of our school. Just forget president. He'd be king of our school. Plays 4 sports, and moved him playing some quarterback this year, and he's a defensive back as well. Got Dylan Kennard on the end. Man, you talk about a spirit and love for the game. He is a young person like, and how much that he loves the game. So he is an offensive lineman for us and a defensive lineman. And man, he lives for Friday nights and doing some camps with him this summer. And we'd love for him to play, or at least have the exposure to play on, again in the future on Saturday. So those are the guys that are with us, and we're excited to have them here.
Beckett, I got a 2-part question. There's a rumor that Fibbers is opening back up across from the practice field.
All right,
is there any truth to that?
Let me start with my kids saw Todd here, Mr. Todd, and they immediately started saying "stranger danger" as you see them over there. That is what they say every time. Don't even have to tell them to say that. Yeah. Todd Dean is our PA guy on Friday nights, and he does trivia. And one of the if you win on one of them, you get a meal at Fibbers. Of course, Fibbers has been closed 15, 20 years, and we found a sign the other day, and we're going to get that up in his front yard. So
put that up in my yard.
People will be excited if
they
see
will
the
be.
test reopen over there at Cedar Bluff.
All right, my serious question, Coach. How your numbers are up pretty high. How many players do you have out? Are you more than they were?
Yeah, we were 32 in the spring. We got some injuries here and there, but we did get them up. We really made a concerted effort. Man, we made it into a big deal to get people out. They had to go through the winter workouts, but to get people out and get commitments, and man, we made a board, and it was like signing day, and took pictures and that kind of thing because we wanted to make a commitment because it's hard work and sweat equity goes into it. But man, we were trying to get some people out, so yeah, it was a concerted effort to up our numbers, get depth. Man, competition is really good.
Coach, you mentioned Bucky might be playing a little quarterback for you this year. Just talk about losing a dynamic player like Jacob Burleson. I know, he practically didn't come off the field for you guys last year. And Bucky, just to follow up on, what Coach says here, just talk about, taking the place of a legend, really, in Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob Burleson had a fine year. We lost 2 All-State guys, and Jacob Burleson, it was All-State at defensive back, had 8 interceptions, had a great year as a safety, and I thought he stepped in and just, adjusted to the new guys and what we were doing offensively, and it just it's as much as anything, it's just a different dynamic, different type of player, and we just got to do things that'll fit his skills, which are Bucky's definitely quick twitch, and he's a guy who can get on the edge and just Lamar Jackson kind of thing and make things happen with his feet, and he throws the ball really well as well. Also, senior wise, we lost another All-State guy, Preston Burt, and they're at defensive end.
Bucky, just talk about taking snaps and, hopefully doing some things like Jacob did last year.
I love it, for real. Having the ball in my hands every day, every play on the offense. Ain't nothing better than that, for real. Like, I control the offense. I like that a lot, Make plays, score touchdowns.
All right, Coach Beckett, you're going into year 2 at Cedar Bluff. Talk to us about some of the progress you guys have made going into your second year?
Well, obviously, of course, we're in talking season, and I like to be just real transparent on things. And there's been a lot of good things and things that we want to address. We made a big focus on just trying to be, culture the way I wanted it. Culture straight across the boys program, one end to the other, and way should be Cedar Bluff wise. We've done a lot of motivation Mondays, and we've hit, UAB mental coaches, and we've hit, things for our strength and nutrition and motivators and just all those academic and those kind of things. So we really leadership meetings have been till they probably got a little nauseous of hearing them, but we wanted to plan as many seeds as we could to kind of get things going in the direction we wanted. So that's been the big thing over the year, and as I told y'all last year, Cedar Bluff's a special place. It's a place that, there's a lot of haves and have-nots in high school football and throughout this state, and it's a have. There's no doubt. It's just a good place, good community, and good people. So, there's things you don't have to work on, and I thought administration from the county office to the principal had the right idea, and we're really excited about our principal coming in, Torrey McDaniel, because he talks about athletics being the front porch. And why is that important? Because players and coaches win games, but doggone administrators are going to determine if you're ever going to be a champion in the direction of it. So that's kind of, there's some good and bad. There's some things that I definitely want to get our mindset right. And I would say we're 7, 8, 10 guys that just really, really want to see us win, that love it player-wise.
Right.
And we want to get that number up. Some of those kind of things that it matters whether you win or lose. That number's a little low, some of those kind of things. But we're grinding and working on it year-round just as hard as anywhere I've ever been. And these guys have committed. And the guys you see right here, they're as good as it gets, and they would play anywhere.
And for these players, kind of following with that question, is year 2 under Coach Beckett. How has it been so far for you guys and starting right here?
Well, at first it started off, we had to get to know him and understand what he wanted to do with the program and what direction he was going in. And now it's clear that it's all about the culture and about not really the older guys. It's more about everybody together, working together, the younger guys and older guys, creating a good culture and environment for the younger guys to grow up in and the older guys to leave a legacy, I guess you could say, for the younger guys to grow up in, to know how Cedar Bluff is and how the weight room goes and how practice goes and everything.
I see a big change in our weight room for sure, and the way we eat, and just leadership meetings like that. It's a pretty big difference for real.
It's been pretty fun for real. Like, he brung in nutrition to us. He brung in all these coaches from colleges to help us out. He's just really changed us a lot, made a new culture, making us right.
Coach, you have been at probably from 1A to 7A. You've been through it all. And I know a lot of people, when they think, well, when he comes to this job, well, he's been at 7A. Boy, all these offenses he's going to bring. Explain to the people exactly what you had to go through when you come from like a Wintersburg, Gaston City, and then now at Cedar Bluff, about how you decide what you're going to do offensively, because people may think, well, they run this there, they're going to do that here. Well, those Joes may not be here at this place. Give us an idea about what you go through in thinking and evaluation of players on what you're going to do offensively and defensively from year to year.
Good to see Coach Short here and on the other side of the aisle in the media. I told him that a while ago, and he's legend in coaching and did so many things with Heflin and taking them to the championships and that kind of thing. But that is a good question. It is very different. People think they're inanimate objects, and it is from obviously just that last stop at Gaston City. You could have the players to fit whatever offense you wanted, defense, whatever. 1A's obviously different. You kind of got to mold things, and you kind of got to make it work. And you got to make personalities work, and you got to you work your way into buy-in. It's not a situation where it's, hey, you're not there, you're not bought in next. Well, it's not quite that way. And but they specialists in 1A that you definitely not to those bigger schools that in that it's community. Man, football Friday night, that's we're all together and we're all in and everybody knows about everybody. And that kind of gets lost in some of the bigger schools. And it is kind of unique, as you say, because I've been everywhere from 4A Center to 1As to 7A Gadsden City to AA in Georgia to Moody 5A. So you got to get a spectrum, but it is but the small town Friday night is a neat thing.
I think it is pretty cool having Coach Short on that side of the. It's kind of different, ain't it? Is it kind of different being over there, Coach? Is it? It's probably more fun. It's not as pressured, I guess. Just getting to be on
You went
that
every
side.
Friday night. Yeah.
That's exactly right, guys. Y'all gonna start out with Wintersburg, your first home game there. Now, I know there's some ties and connections with that. Tell us about kind of looking. You don't want to look far ahead, I know, but tell us about playing those. I mean, Coach has set that game up for you, and what do you think about this Wintersburg game?
Something new,
Yeah,
I ain't really never heard of them before, but I'm ready to play them. I ain't scared of nobody.
that's right.
We've talked to them, those guys about zero about it. We will when we get closer. Now, as coaches, we've taken all 10 and broken them down and rosters and all that kind of stuff and really game plans at a distance. But as that gets closer, that'll be big game to them because they were not happy campers as I exited. So and that's fine. That's part of it. And so they'll have a little fire in their eyes and so we'll need to buckle it up because they'll definitely be coming that night.
Coach, tell us about these three guys here, the experience. I know Bucky and Dylan have been starting 6-7 years apiece, and Hagan for quite a while. But to have that type of experience on offense and defense, how big of a plus is that?
Yeah, and you start down there with say Dylan, who's multi years and really been a lot of those guys that have gone on. He was entrenched with them years ago, and just so many snaps and playing. And it does. There's nothing beats experience. There's nothing beats experience. A lot of years you have to go through a year to get through a year, and I really, I think as far as him and Bucky, the amount of snaps and reps is sometimes those Friday night lights are you just get engulfed by them, and I don't think that'll happen. Dylan was later on kind of coming. Hagan was later on kind of coming into this thing. Man, he kind of figured out when he started figuring out how physical and how good he could be. You could tell, hey, man, this guy was like, I'm into this. And the light definitely went on last year, and his work ethic, and all three of them's work ethic. You were talking nutrition. We got with a guy at Jackson State, and Dylan changed his total nutrition. He's his body's just, man, he reshaped it and it's ready to grow. Hagan, just the amount of hours he's put in the weight room to prepare for this season and rehabbing that injury. And so all three of them do have a lot of snaps, and that is a good thing because I'm telling you, I've seen very few where you waited till your junior, senior, and you were very good. You may be athletic. I want a player, not athlete.
Guys, just to sort of touch on what Coach is talking about, just talk about, I know this year you're not having to get familiar with Coach Beckett. You already know what he's like, what his style is and everything. Just talk about, is it a little bit more, I don't want to say a comfort zone, but you're familiar with what he expects. Just talk about that.
Yeah, I'd definitely say this year more than last year. Last year, about the whole summer, you were really just trying to get to know him. And when the season started, it started rolling. But now you're familiar with what he expects. You know what he expects, and you know what's expected of you. So it's I guess you could say we're all in our comfort zone now.
Yeah, like he said, like we know what he expects from us, and it really didn't take long for us to like get to know him. He likes talking a lot. You're going to get to know Coach Beckett with being in a room with him.
Good connection.
Good
Really
connection.
good one. It's a good thing, going to a small school. You see him in the hallway a good bit, Usually at a big school, you ain't really going to see your head football coach, probably like once a day, something like that at practice. But I can see him like 3 times, 4 times, going through the hallway. So it's good connection for real. Good thing to have.
This for a player. We have an offensive lineman up here. We have a running back / wide receiver that likes to get the ball and score all the time.
Yes, sir.
Give us running back, wide receiver. What's your name again? Yes, sir.
Bucky Leake.
Okay. Tell us a little bit what it's like to have those linemen and the respect that you have for those linemen that are in front of you that give you that opportunity to score. And then, of course, somebody's got to get you the ball. But be humble and tell us a little bit about your offensive line. And offensive linemen, tell us what it's like to be able to block for skill players that are going to give you everything they got to score.
It's all love. Like, it's really all love. You got to have trust for one. If you can't trust them, they ain't really trust us. So I trust them to block from every time, and we do this kind of thing. Like, me and him, like, when we score, he, like, throws him up in the air like a little lion, like Lion King.
Make sure you come down.
Yeah, like he
catches you, I hope.
Like he holds me like this and I jump up. So we got a good connection for real. So they do a good job blocking for real.
It's really the connection. Like, we've played ball since we've been young now. We've got so many snaps together. Like, it's just another day for us. But it's really just like the bond you make with them. Like, you gotta trust one. Like, the play is to go in that hole. You gotta trust them to go in that hole because you're making that block for that hole. That's just how it is. It's a bond.
And that'll be a bond you carry with you the rest of your life.
Yeah, it is.
Always, it'll be the rest of your life. You'll remember these times right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, kind of to re-edify what Coach Short's talking about, we'll be live tomorrow on YouTube on our show at 6, Matt and Todd's show. Diamond Dean will be doing the Summer of Greats. He's going to be doing Cedar Bluff, and that brings me to kind of connect with this. My dad, played at Cedar Bluff, and he was on a team with Jerry Benefield in 70. He's going to do 72, 71, 72. Well, the point is, Daddy's telling me stories because Todd didn't know quite all the players on the team. So Daddy's telling me stories last night, and he remembers from 1971, a play before halftime that Tim Poe, blocked a punt, and one of his linemen, Harvey Wade, local people will know who he is. He remembers Harvey scoring and him trying to block a guy from 1972. You see what I'm saying? So to re-edify that again, what Coach is saying, the things you're doing are just memories, and you'll always remember that. You forget the scores of the games sometimes, but you'll always remember hanging out and being together. So y'all have a great season, and anybody got anything else? Okay, we'll kind of wrap it up with that. Coach Beckett, like to add anything?
No, yeah, just what you just said. It's not we tell them it's not a 4-year decision, it's a 40-year decision. It's those guys are leaning on the fence on Friday nights because they want to be out there.
Yep.
Because that was a great memory and it was a great time of their life, and it's life changing. So it is it doesn't get a lot better than Friday nights, football Friday nights. So there's a lot of sacrifices goes into the rest of the year for parents, for prehab and rehab and all that other stuff. But you hit it, man. Football Friday night special.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. So y'all enjoy. The young guy over here that played with y'all 2 years ago, and I guarantee you he would suit up and play. He may not like the condition and the running in the summer, but y'all have a good season and enjoy. We love you guys, and we'll see y'all around. Cedar Bluff Tigers, thank you. All right, guys, that kind of wraps it up for the day. We appreciate, again, Shane and the guys here at Easy Street, everybody for coming out. Coach Kelly, Coach Howard and them come on first. Coach Justin came. And Coach Heath, we can't forget about him. So y'all tune in tomorrow on YouTube. Our channel, Matt and Todd Show, will be live on YouTube at 6 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to have the Summer of Greats from the Diamond Dean list. He'll be talking about some old Cedar Bluff schools. And I'll have some college news for you, football news. So thank you, everybody, again. Thank y'all.